Hi there, my name is Rajakunal Pandit, and this is my event management platform project that I have built using Django in the backend and React in the front end. So let me just log in. So before logging in, let me just tell there are three types of users. First one is admin, second one is the normal user, and third one is the premium user. Let me just log in as a normal user, and let me make sure that I have entered the right password. And after logging in, I am redirected to the user dashboard, and here I can see all the events that has been created by the admin, and I can RSVP the events with three status: going, might go, and not going. So here I can see my joined events that I have joined, and I can also see the details of the events, right? And here the in the event carousel I have sorted it in increasing order, so the events that are happening soon will be displayed first. And I have also implemented a filter here that does dynamic filtering. So let me just say I want all the events that are happening in Chennai. So I can see there are two events that are happening in Chennai, right? And let me just log out, and let me just log in as an admin. So here this mail is my admin, and after successful login I am redirected to the admin dashboard, where I can update an event. I can see the guest list, all the users that has RSVP'd this particular event, and I have the power to remove their RSVP. And I can also add event here, create a new uh, event, and I can also update this event. So suppose its location is Chennai, India. Let me just say it is. Let me set it to Bangalore, and so after updation, I am redirected to the dashboard, and I can see that now its location is Bangalore. And as an admin, I have also the power to make an event premium or not, so that only the premium users can see the events first. So this was about admin dashboard, and I have also implemented pagination from the backend. We can see, and let me just go to my second page. So here we can see. So let me just log out and log in as a premium user. So here my this user mail acting as a premium user. So after successful redirection, I'm redirect to the premium user dashboard, and I can see that you have early access to this event. So only the premium users will be able to see this badge right here. So I can RSVP it early, and let me just log out. And I've also implemented a functionality, so if I forgot my password I can just type in my mail and send the reset link, so it will give me a link onto my mail. So let me just open my mail here so that I can check whether I received a mail or not. Okay, so here I received the mail for my password reset request, and let me just click here to reset my password. So let me say I want to. Previously it was 12345 and at the rate. So let me just set it to like Raja Kunal Pandit 1 at the rate. So let me just reset the password, and after resetting the password I'm redirected to the login page. So now if I enter my password, I make sure that I enter the new one. So Kunal Pandit 1 at the rate, and after logging in I can see I'm redirected to the dashboard, right? And for hosting this, I have also hosted my application on AWS. So I have hosted my front end on CloudFront and my backend on ECS clusters using Fargate, and my database is in RDS. And I have used Docker files here to push the Docker images to the ECR repositories. So let me just go to my AWS so that I can show. So if I go to my code build, so let me just first show my front end deployment, how I have done it, right? If I go to my front end deployment and see the front end build, right? So let it load first. And one more thing, it get triggered when user commits to GitHub. So for front end, I have webhooks here. I have set it up webhooks in my GitHub repository. So here is my front end build. You can see. So if I want to see what triggers it, I can just go to the edit project and let it load. So here I can see that I have used webhook for triggering this build. And if I go to my S3 bucket and see what is there, S3 buckets. In the S3 buckets, all the artifacts that are built by npm run build command are put it into. So let me just go to my front end bucket first. So what my build does is it deletes all the previous artifacts, and then it inserts the new artifacts into the S3 bucket. And I have hosted it on CloudFront using S3. So let me just go to the CloudFront and check my distribution. Just taking time to load. Okay, so here the distributions are showing, and this one is for my front end. So let me just copy this domain name and paste it here, so I can see that my front end is on CloudFront. Okay, so now moving on to the backend deployment, I have set it up two code pipelines, AWS pipelines. So what first one does is it builds the backend image. It builds backend image from the GitHub and it pushes it to the ECR. So let me just go to the um, pipelines first. AWS code pipelines. Okay, just taking time to load. Okay, so here I am on the AWS console, and let me just click on code pipelines and see my pipelines. And it is loading. So this pipeline is basically this one. So it builds the backend from the GitHub and pushes it to the ECR. So if I can see here, it takes source as from GitHub and push it to the ECR, and it also tags the image, the Docker image that has been pushed to the ECR with latest tag. So let me go to the ECR to check my repository, Elastic Container Registry. Let me just go here. Click. Here I can see my Docker files. So here this one is my repository where the images are pushed with the latest tags. And moving on to the next pipeline. So this pipeline is basically triggered by the previous one. This pipeline is basically triggered by the previous one, right? So let me just go to my code pipelines once again, and here is my this pipeline. So basically, it takes source from Amazon ECR and builds from code build, and it deploys to Amazon ECS. So if I go here and in my clusters service, if I see the tasks running, and let me just also check its logs. Let it load first. Okay. So in this service, let me go to the tasks, open my tasks, and here is the public IP that has been generated. And if I see the logs, I can see the system is running well and fine. Okay. Okay, so I have also in the logs I can see that I have updated the any event, so I can see that in logs also. So let me just go here and paste this URL with 8000 port and make sure it's working. Okay, let me just show. Okay, let me go to the route. API login. So in the API login part, I can see it is logging in, and let me just send a JSON response to see that it is working or not. So let me say my email is user@gmail.com and my password is 12345 and at the rate. So if I see the post request, I would be seeing all the details about the user and the tokens. I have also implemented JWT tokens here for the authorization. So he can see that login is successful and user is username and the role is admin. I can also see access tokens and refresh tokens. Okay, so this was it, and let me go to my RDS, and I have also enabled the CloudWatch for my container insights and database insights. So let me just go to my CloudWatch first. Since I have enabled the detailed insights, I will be able to see all the things about my container and database insights. If I go to my container insights, there are multiple clusters here, so I can see their activity. I can monitor that. So let me monitor this cluster here, the Django cluster. So all the monitoring is loading, and here I can see the CPU utilization and network, storage read and write, and the memory utilization. And let me just go to my database insights. Here I have database, Postgres database where I have stored all my data. So here I can see the CPU utilization and all about my database. So let me just go to my RDS to show my database. For the time being, it is loading. I go to my database. So this one is my original database, database one, and this backup DB that has been created from my snapshots. So I have here I was having multiple snapshots. So what I did, I just restored my snapshot instance, and then the second backup DB has been enabled, created. Okay, so this was my RDS, and now let's moving on to my ECR and Lambda functions. So I have also implemented my in my code. I have also implemented a scheduler function where user will be notified via mail when the events are happening tomorrow. So in my scheduler.py, I have implemented the logic that will notify the users um, a day before the event, and I have also created a lambda docker file here to create the lambda function. So it basically creates a lambda function. So let me just go to my ECR and show my lambda docker file, the lambda file that has been pushed. So here, this is my lambda docker file, and with this, I have. Let me just go to my lambda function. And for scheduling the triggers of Lambda function, I have used Event Bridge. So basically, it triggers at every 9 a.m. in the morning, every month and for every year. So here is my function, and okay. So let me just test my function that it is working fine or not. So let me just name it as a test event and just okay. So if I go to my, let me log in as, let me enter my right password and log in. So I can see this event is happening at 19th of April 2025. So today is 19th of April 2025. So let me just update it to um, 20th of April so that I can get the notification via mail. So let me just log in as a user and update it. Okay, so here I am redirected to it. Okay, so going to update function. Here let me set the day to 20th of April. Okay, let me update this event and I'm redirected to, in the guest list I can see that this mail has been registered, right? So let me just go to my event and test it. So let me just run it. Okay, so it is saying reminder sent successfully, and I have also added the log. So digital marketing masterclass, it is happening tomorrow. So it has been sent. It has sent all the emails regarding all the users corresponding to this event who has RSVP. So let me check my mail. Okay, so I have received my mail. Let me open my mail so that I can see. Okay, so I can see I just received this mail, and I'm just saying this is a reminder that digital marketing class is scheduled for Sunday 20th April. So this was about my Lambda function, and let me just go to Event Bridge and show the schedule that I have implemented for triggering the Lambda function. So let it just load the page, and if I go to schedules, I will be able to see the my schedule here. Okay, so event reminder scheduler is here, and this in this cron expression, I can see that every 9 a.m. UTC it is. I'm going to send the notification to the users of the events that are happening tomorrow. So this was about my deployment part. So let me just go to my VS Code. And before going to my VS Code, let me just go to my documentation so that I can tell in my database I have applied um, indexing so to increase the performance of my database. So let this just page load and let me have also documented my testing. So in my, let me just go to my VS Code and enter in the RDS database so that I can explain it more clearly. Okay, so here this is my RDS database. Let me just enter this password, and here it's connected. And if I see all the tables here, I will be able to see. So in my API event table, I have implemented the indexing part. So let me just go to it. Okay, so in this table, I have columns like ID and the event ID, the event title, and hosted by ID, and event date, event location, event image, reminder sent, and event description, and is the event premium only. So I have implemented indexing on hosted by ID and on date and on premium only. So if a user wants to retrieve all the admin wants or to retrieve the events that are premium only, so on that part. So here are the three indexes that on which I have implemented the indexing, and let me just scroll down to explain my findings. So I have basically inserted a dummy data of approx 5 lakhs records so that I can test the efficiency of indexing. So with indexing, my hosted by ID was taking around 91.059 ms milliseconds, and when I dropped the index, it was taking execution time of around 91.266 ms, which is slightly higher um, with indexing. And for date column, here where the things get interesting a little bit. So with indexing, the execution time is around 33.036 milliseconds, and when I drop the indexing, it is going up to 91.944 milliseconds. So it is basically without indexing, it is taking twice the time execution time it was taking with indexing. And from chip premium only column, the execution time is with indexing 59.310 milliseconds, and without indexing it is 62.618 milliseconds. So this is my indexing part that I have done. And so let me just push my code to GitHub so that I can see, display or demo whether my code pipelines are running fine or not. So let me just add all the files. Okay, and push it to my repository. Okay, so all my code has been pushed to the main repository. So if I go to my pipelines, code pipelines, it is taking a bit of a time to load. Okay, so I can here just see the trigger has been sent to this pipeline here. Here the trigger has been sent, and it has built, it has from the source it has built. And let me, if I just go to the AWS code build here, I can see the logs whether the image has been successfully pushed to ECR or not. Okay, so on the scroll down, I can see that build is currently happening and all the artifacts has been successfully updated. And in the ECR repository, the image has been pushed. So okay, so this pipeline is done. Now this pipeline should have triggered the another one. So let me just go to here, and we can see this pipeline has triggered this one. So from Amazon ECR source, it is building the file, and the ECS, it will be displaying the new tasks on ECS. So it will take some time. So for the time being, let's go to the front end part here and see if our S3 bucket had been updated or not. Right, so let me just go to my updated bucket, S3 bucket, so that I can see updated artifacts. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, so code build has also happened here, and okay, working on Amazon ECS for the time being. Okay, so here is my front end bucket. So let me just click on it. Okay, so today is 90th April of, and it is 6:09 p.m. 4:09 p.m. So here I can see that it has updated successfully, and all my changes has been displayed on to the cloud front. Okay, so it is currently also deploying, but let if I just go to my Amazon ECS, I think it has been updated. So in this cluster service, I can see that new task is about to be run. So if I go to the tasks, and if I see here, I can see that a new task has been created uh, just a minute ago. So public IP also has generated. Let me just copy it, and if I check the logs, okay, so my system has been booted up. So let me just check the IP also, that it is working fine or not. So if I go to API, and login page. It should be okay. Now let me just log in again. Email, and let me just write the user at the rate gmail.com, and password, let me set it to 12345 shift at the rate, and let me just post it, and let me just test it here. So okay, so I will be okay. So now I'm saying the login successfully with user with this IP. So it is working fine now, and okay, so it takes some time to show it is deployed, but we can see from ECS that it has working fine. It has created and be working really fine. Okay, so that was all about my project, and in my GitHub repository, if you can see all these steps to create the